Stronger level 1 was all about building consistent habits around food and exercise and getting a real solid foundation. Level 2 is all about maximizing your muscle building, but making sure you're putting your effort in the right place. There's an old fable about the north wind and the sun. They're arguing over who's stronger, and they decide to settle it with a challenge. Who can get the man who's walking below them to take off his coat? The wind goes first, forcing his coat off with cold winds and big gusts. The coat starts to flap, but the harder the wind blows, the tighter the man clutches to his coat. Then the sun steps in. The wind drops and it begins to warm the air gently. The man loosens his grip on the coat, and before long, he takes it off willingly. That's exactly what level 2 stronger is all about. We want to help you build the right conditions so that building strength and muscle feels easy. Outside of the gym, muscle gain relies on one thing: giving your body the resources it needs to recover, adapt, and grow back stronger. So that's all we'll be focusing on. No hacks, no shortcuts, just tried and tested strategies that will always work. So why are you here? Well, by this point, hopefully you've got good structure around your food and you're making smart food choices, but you're not quite sure about how much or what to eat for maximal muscle growth. And this is where we start to talk more about calories. We need to be in a calorie surplus to grow new muscle and accelerate your muscle building. So we're going to touch on that in level 2. We're going to talk about tracking apps and how they can help you. We're going to talk about how to incorporate your muscle building into a busy social life. And we're going to make that really, really simple for you to follow. So what does success look like at the end of level 2? Well, hopefully you've gained a good amount of muscle and strength and you're feeling really good. But key here, you've not gained too much body fat, because being in a calorie surplus does run the risk of you actually gaining excess body fat whilst you're getting stronger, and we don't want that. So we're going to show you how to avoid it. Muscle and strength, though, should be part of your life by the end of level 2, and it should be much easier fitting it in your busy schedule. So what about your weight? Well, your body weight should be going up, remember, because we're in that calorie surplus. So we're eating more calories than we're burning. And the ideal target is about 0.5% of your body weight each month. If you're gaining more weight than that faster, that's a surefire sign that you're eating too many calories and you're going to be gaining body fat, which we obviously don't want. But if you're not gaining any weight, that's a pretty surefire sign that you're not building new muscle tissue either. So we want to find the right balance in the middle. So what are the 7 core modules we're going to teach you about? Well, the first one we've touched on briefly at the start, it's MyFitnessPal. You might have heard of it, and it's essentially a food tracking app that we're going to use to make sure that you're getting your calorie balance right. The second thing is hunger-based eating, because at some point you're not going to want to use the tracking apps anymore. So we want to help teach you how to follow your body's internal hunger signals to make sure that you're eating the right amount and the right quantity of food. We're going to teach you how to build the perfect muscle building plate. We're also going to talk about food processing. So we've all heard of ultra processed foods, but we're going to talk about each level of food processing because they're not all bad. We're going to talk about calorie density, because if you have 100 grams of chicken and 100 grams of chocolate, those two foods weigh the same, but the density of the calories is very different. So we're going to teach you about that. We're going to give you a really easy to use eatery guide that you can take out and about with you and use in restaurants to help navigate eating out in social settings and make the whole process much easier. And we're going to touch on alcohol, because of course alcohol is a big part of a lot of our lives. Do we need to avoid it completely? Maybe, maybe not, but we're going to cover alcohol separately. So what are our final thoughts on level 2 and what are you going to be doing next? Well, as we said, level 2 is where we start to really talk about calories, where we really start to, improve that muscle building for you. And specifically, we're aiming for lean muscle building. In level 3, we're going to move on to more aggressive muscle building and aggressive gaining, where the calories go up and the training intensity goes up as well. So your progress will go from good to great. And we're going to really talk about protein. We're going to talk about other macronutrients like carbohydrates and how they play such a key role in the muscle building process. So that's where it gets really interesting. In level 2, though, the main thing we want you to do is first continue tracking all of your habits and sticking with the stuff that you learn in level 1. It's super important that just because you're advancing to level 2, you don't forget all that good stuff that you've already been doing. We don't need you to progress to that level 3, that more advanced level, if you don't want to for a start, and not until you're ready for definite. You can just stay there. Don't feel the need to progress onwards. But if you do everything that we've just spoken about in level 2, you are going to be feeling even stronger.